Okay, now I think it has been started.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Presentation is visible to you now.
Yes, yes.
So this is the content. Like, let me repeat once again. Transaction. We will start with the transaction, then properties, then the transaction states, then concurrent execution, small introduction, schedules, various kind of schedules, and serializability at the end. I will try to have examples also in order to explain the concepts in more better way. So let us start now. So first of all, like the transaction, you just look at on your screen. This is a simple table. This is a simple table which contains three statements right now, and it is headed by T1. The T1 is there for specifying the transaction. T1 is transaction 1. Okay. So the three statements are reading X, then something is subtracting from the X, and then finally write the value of X again. So what do you mean by this? Like, we can say that these particular statements are trying to change the value of X, trying to change the value of or update the value of X. Now let us look at the another example also, that is T2, transaction number 2, that is reading the value of Y and trying to update the value of Y, and finally uh, write the value of Y. So what do you mean by these two activities, these two like tables? These two are representing the transactions, different transactions. So one activity that is being done during the databases accessing by any one of us. Like, suppose you are trying to access any kind of table, then if you want to modify the value of X attribute and then modify the value of attributes Y, then something else, then these all the part of the transactions, these all can be considered as a transaction. So one transaction could be the updation of the value of X, then second transaction could be the updation of the value of Y, and so on. So what we can say about the transaction is, a transaction is a single logical unit of a work which accesses and possibly modifies the content of a database. I am repeating, the transaction can be defined as a single logical unit of a work which accesses and possibly modifies the content of a database. So with the help of these two examples, you can see that we are trying to access as well as we are trying to modify the content of the databases, some objects of the databases. Okay, so T1 will be a logical unit and it can be considered as a transaction, separate transaction. T2 can be treated as a different logical unit that is trying to modify or accessing something else, some other object of the databases. It can also be considered as a transaction. Is it okay? Now coming on to the next example, I have now combined the above two transactions in a single unit and I have tried to give it the name transaction T. Is it okay? So transaction T is a combination of the two transactions. Transaction T is a combination of two transactions, that is T1 and T2. Now in this table you can see that three things have been given before the value of X and Y before the transaction starts, and the value of X and Y after the transaction commits or finish. So now I am explaining this table now. Listen carefully. The transaction T1 is reading the value of an X and then updating it, and then transaction T2 reading the value of Y and then updated the value of Y. Consider and assume that T1 executes first and then T2 executes, and the combination of T1 and T2 will be considered as a whole transaction, that is called a transaction T. So initially, if the value of X and Y are 500 and 200 respectively, the value of X and Y after the completion of transaction, in which the T1 is executing first and then T2, the value will be 400 and 300. Is it okay to you all? Is it okay to all?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
है ना?
Yes, sir.
Then if it means कि like suppose that if I am I'm treating the both transaction collectively and giving it a name T, then it is again a transaction T in which the object of the databases are being accessed and possibly modifies. So the content of the database is being accessed and modified. That's why we can say that the whole transaction T can again be considered as a single transaction. So transaction T1 plus T2 will become a new transaction that is called the transaction T. Is it okay? Now coming on to the next definition based on the above example, that we can say that a single logical unit of a work that on a database, it could be an entire program. Carefully listen and understand. It could be an entire program. It could be a portion of a program, or it could be a single command also. In the previous slide, we have seen that transaction T1 can separately be a transaction T2 can separately be a transaction, and collectively transaction T1 and T2 can also be considered as a single unit of a work, and it means it is also a transaction. So I am again repeating it: a single logical unit of work on the database. It could be an entire program, it could be a portion of a program, or it could be a single command also. Now if you consider again in this T1, it means that read x equals to x minus 100 and write x. It is a single statement. Reading and writing is a part of every transaction, and until unless we are not, a transaction is not reading or writing the data, it will not be updated. So it is a single statement, and then if I am combining these two, then there are multiple statements. Okay, so now the next definition based on the same can be it could be a sequence of one or more SQL statements that can be combined together to form a single unit of work. It is actually a technical definition now. In the view of a SQL, if you will write, it is a sequence of one or more SQL statements that can be combined together to form a single logical unit of a work. SQL statement means insert statement, update statement, delete statement, drop statement, whatever you want to do with the databases, all of them can be considered as a transaction. So whenever you are trying to update your database, whenever you are trying to insert some new values into the databases, whenever you are trying to delete or drop something from the databases, some objects from the databases, all the things can be considered as a transactions. Is it clear to all? Finally, the set of changes that must all be made together. I have underlined the word all be made together. ये हम बाद में explain करेंगे. Like what does it means actually in coming slides, like in 2 or 3 slides I am going to explain it thoroughly. So right now you just read it: set of changes that must be made all together, because it is a basic property of the transactions that all the statements within the transactions must be done or either none of them. So it will be explained thoroughly in the next coming slides. So right now up to this point it is clear. This is the basic definition of the transactions. I'm repeating it. It is a sequence of one or more SQL statements that are combined together to form a single unit of a work. Done? Can we move ahead? Any question till now? Anybody wants to ask anything? He can raise, or he can ask through chat window, or he can unmute him or herself. Anybody wants to ask anything? The definition is clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I am moving to the next slide now. Transaction concept. The very basic concept of the transaction you have seen in my very first slide, that I am using a word read and write. I am using a word read and write. So if I want to access something, then I need to use the read operation and write operation. Read operation is obviously reading the database objects, and write operation obviously means it is trying to write something new after updation. Suppose I have updated the value of x and I have deducted or subtracted 100 from it the value of x, then the new value will be updated again, and these updation must be onto the memory locations. So every transaction must start from the read operation and it must end with the write operation after the updation of the objects. So the read operation is nothing but reading the database objects, and which means the reading from starting from the disk, then it comes to the program variables, that was in my case is x, through the main memory. And then finally writing means writing the updated values of the program variables which we have been updated through some SQL statements. Then it will be writing back to the disk using the main memory, through the main memory. So read and write operations will be the part of every transactions. You will see in the coming examples also. Okay, so these two basic statements will be there for each of the transactions. Now coming on to the properties of transactions. This is a diagram which through which I want to explain the properties of the transactions. Transactions that we are doing with the databases objects must follow these four properties, and you can see that these four terms have been highlighted with A, C, I and D. It means acid. Acid word I think आप सब लोगों ने सुना हुआ होगा. So these transaction properties are also known as acid property. So directly in RTU you can get a questions that discuss the acid property of the transactions. ACID acronym लिखा हुआ होगा वहां पर. So you need to identify the terms A, C, I and D also. So where A means atomicity, C means consistency, I means isolation and D means durability. So acid properties of the transaction means atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. Every transactions in your database, whatever you are going to perform, must satisfy all these four properties. Now let us discuss each property one by one along with the examples. So first of all, it is atomicity. Atomicity means atomic. Atom means सबको पता होगा. Atom means a single unit, मतलब minimum unit of any of the, like we can say, substance. So it means that either the entire transactions takes place at once or does not happens at all. I have if you have remember that when in my second slide I have asked you to remember the underlined word, that thing. All be made together. Now I am going to explain it in proper manner. So that atomicity property says that all should be made together. It means that either the entire transaction takes places at once or does not happen at all. It means now there is no midway in the transactions. Transactions cannot be occur partially. Either all the statement needs to be confirmed or completed. Otherwise, all needs to be dismissed. I am underlining the word dismissed. It means ki if I am trying to execute, let us suppose 4 statements or 4 instructions in a transactions, in that case either all the 4 instructions or statements must be executed or none of them should be executed. Okay, the reason is I am going to explain it now. Next thing is that it involves the following 2 operations. Atomicity, in the case of atomicity, there are only 2 operations possible in the case of transactions, that are abort or commit. Abort means rollback. If the transaction aborts, it means ki changes made by the database are not visible. If we have been suppose in midway the transaction fails because of any of the error, it could be a system error, it could be a system crash, it could be a logical error, whatever it is. If somehow the transaction stops in between, then it needs to be rolled back. So whatever changes up to that particular point have been made needs to be rolled back. Okay. And the next one is commit. Commit means if all the statements, it means 4 statements have been executed successfully, then the transaction needs to be commit only. And once commit, all the changes needs to be persist. Okay. So there are only 2 possibilities in the case of atomicity. It means either abort or rollback or commit. Now let us see this particular example. Is it visible to you onto your screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there are how many statements in
Yes,
this?
sir.
8 statements are there. Good. Then it starts with the start transaction. So first statement is the start transaction, and then the last statement is a commit statement. If you have been remembered that you have learned in the first unit transaction control language, we have done also in the previous classes, like physical classes when we were in the colleges. So I have explained that there are some commands that belongs to transaction control language part. Transaction control language में commit, rollback ये हमने पढ़ा हुआ है already. So commit means कि once the transaction commits completed, it needs to be commit. Commit statement ensures that all the above 7 statements have been successfully completed, have been successfully updated the databases as per the requirements. Only after the commit statements means कि specific transactions has been executed successfully, completely. Okay, now let us start. First statement is start statement. Then second one is it is reading the value of a. Third one is it is subtracting the 700 from a. And then fourth, it is writing the value of a. It means with the statement 2, 3, and 4, it is trying to update the object a. Then with the help of 5, 6, 7 statement, the transaction tried to update the value of the object b. Now see, suppose after the fourth statement, let us suppose that fourth statement has successfully executed. It means a has been updated now. Now in between 5, 6, or 7, say somehow system fails, say somehow your power fails or system crashes, say, now what happens? Tell me what
सर
happens.
एक के अंदर चेंजेस विजिबल नहीं होंगे.
चेंजेस विजिबल नहीं होंगे. कैसे विजिबल नहीं होंगे? लाइक वो तो it depends upon you. The property says that changes will not be visible. Now what actually happens like in background? क्या होगा actually?
अबाउट हो जाएगा ना,
प्रॉपर्टी आ जाएगी.
रोलबैक हो
अबॉर्ट हो जाएगा सर, अबॉर्ट.
अबॉर्ट हो जाएगा. गुड. सो अबॉर्ट होने के लिए क्या होगा? ऑटोमेटिक रोलबैक होगा.
यस, रोलबैक.
Automatically aborting will be there, or something we need to do? Automatic aborting will not be there actually. This needs to be maintained by the programmer, by the database administrator only. Okay, something should be there in order to ensure that if somehow transaction fails in between, some operation should be there, some kind of statement should be there, so that it can be rolled back to the previous state. Also, the second point is that first one is it needs to be rolled back. The second point is that up to which point it needs to be rolled back, up to which statement it needs to be rolled back. Statement number 4, statement number 3, or statement number 2, or statement number 1. It also can be handled through some commands actually. Okay, so we can maintain some save points. You can underline the word save points. So save points should be there in the programs in order to ensure that at that particular point only the transaction will be rolled back. Okay, so now not going into the complex one now at that point actually. Now simply suppose that it fails, then what does it means actually? Database, in that case, database will be in inconsistent state. Database will be in inconsistent state. Right now we have not specified that what needs to do in this case. So in this particular case, database needs to be in the in inconsistent states. So that atomicity properties actually says that either all the transactions needs to be completed successfully, or otherwise all needs to be rolled back up to a specific point or up to the point number 0. It means starting point. Is it clear to all now? That's why I have said in like previously in the second slide that all should be made all together. वो हमने एक definition देखी थी last में. All must be all together. Okay, so it is what the meaning of this atomicity means, that either the entire transaction take places or does not happens at all. Is it clear to all now? What does atomicity means?
सर हमारा डेटाबेस इनकंसिस्टेंट कैसे हो गया सर?
हाँ, तो what do you mean by consistency? First of all, let me please tell me what do you mean by the consistency? Consistent database का क्या मतलब होता है?
सर मतलब जैसे कोई डेटा हमारा कंसिस्टेंट रहता है, जैसे कि हमारी जो भी डेटाबेस है.
Consistence, what does consistent means? Here I am asking about what does consistent means. I am saying that in this case database will be in consistent state. So what do you mean by a data? Like if suppose all the transaction will be executed successfully, then database will remains in consistent state, है ना?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Then what does consistent means now? Anybody else? What does consistent means?
So that substance holds together.
Sorry?
सर सब्सटेंस होल्ड्स टुगेदर, मतलब सब दो सब्सटेंस है वो होल्ड कर लेंगे दोनों,
Who
उसका
is
मतलब
there?
होता है सर
Saurabh.
सौरभ उपाध्याय। यस सर।
Okay. Anybody else? Consistency that you have already studied in like previous unit. Consistency, like we have studied in the first or second unit only. It is a property of the database actually. Consistent database. I think integrity constraints you have remembered. You have heard about the integrity constraints? No. Okay, it will be in my next slides, coming slides. I will explain it somehow. Now let me clear the question asked by the Prabjeet. So what does inconsistency means right
Yes,
now?
sir.
Inconsistency means ki like initially, now in this particular case now, initially suppose the value of A is 2000 and value of B is 3000, say. Okay, now what should be the value of A and B after the commit statement? Tell me. Initially the value of A is 2000 and B is 3000. So what should be the value if without fails it executed completely? What should be the value of A and B at the end? Anybody is getting or not? My question is clear or not?
वापस बोल दो आप सर।
I am asking ki suppose the value of A is initially 2000 and value of B is 3000. What should be the value after the successful completion of all these 8 statements without fail?
सर फिर जो जो भी ए की वैल्यू होगी सर वो 700 से माइनस हो जाएगी सर, वो हमारी फिर ए राइट करेगी सर इसमें।
So repeat sir question.
Question is, suppose A is 100, sorry, not 100 because it is 700. So suppose A is 1000, that is, let it be like simple now. A is 1000, B is 1000. So what will be the value of the A and B at the end?
So
A is
300 and 1700.
700, it means it is now 300.
सर जो भी वैल्यू होगी
300
सर वो
and
700 से
1700.
प्लस और माइनस होगी सर।
हाँ, so initially A plus B is initially A plus B is
So 2000.
2000. Very good. And afterward, after the successful completion, A plus B will be
2000.
2000.
A is 300
So
and
this
B
is
is
consistent
17.
state. If all the transactions will be successfully completed and the values remain same, then it is consistent state. Now what does inconsistency mean? Suppose the transaction fails somehow, so A will become 300 but B will remains 1000 and the total will be 1300 only. Well, like although it should be 2000 but now it is, as the case of failure, it will be 1300. So it is inconsistent state.
तो जैसे ए की वैल्यू 300 आ गई सर, 1000 से माइनस करेंगी तो बी की 1700 आ गई, तो सर ये इनकंसिस्टेंट हुआ क्या सर?
नहीं, ये consistent हुआ बेटा. Like whenever the previous values and the last values are same, then it means it is consistent state.
सर मतलब अगर कंडीशन ट्रू हुई तो मतलब वो कंसिस्टेंट है, और अगर कंडीशन फॉल्स हुई तो इनकंसिस्टेंट है।
Condition false हुई, it means कि if the transaction fails and somehow in between, okay, and it has not been rolled back and neither it has been committed, in that case somehow the values, some data must be lost. Now let us take a simple example. इसको छोड़ो अभी. Now
Yes,
let us
sir.
take a simple example of ATM. Suppose you have went to ATM and you have withdrawn some amount from the ATM and you have given all the commands. Finally you are waiting for the money to be deposited, money to be withdrawn, money to be collected. Okay, now suppose now at that point the system fails and you are not able to get the money, but from your account the money has been debited. That is inconsistent state. You are getting it?
Yes sir.
You have received a message that your balance, your account has been debited by 1000 rupees, but you have not got the money in hard with you. Okay, so what does it means? Your account balance has been debited but you have not received the money. This is called inconsistent state. Is it clear now?
Yes sir.
Okay, now suppose you have got the money after बिना किसी failure के you have received the money, then it means it is consistent state now. वो
Yes, sir.
consistent state होगी. It means कि before transaction and after transactions the amount must be the database must be consistent. That is what the meaning of the consistency. Is it okay now? During the
Yes, sir.
transaction it may be inconsistent state. अभी आपके पास पैसा नहीं आया है लेकिन आपके अमाउंट से पैसा कट गया है, बट आप वेट कर रहे हो, पैसा काउंट हो रहा है मशीन के अंदर. It is inconsistent state. During the transaction it is inconsistent state, but before and after it must be consistent. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Anybody wants to ask anything about this? Is everyone is getting the point or not? Anyone else other than Prabjeet or like someone? Saloni, you are getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything you want to ask, you can unmute now and you can have any question.
Sir?
You can ask me right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can we move to the next point?
सर इनकंसिस्टेंसी प्रॉब्लम से ओवरकम कैसे करेंगे फिर?
That we will learn in coming slides. Okay. There are certain methods there in order to ensure that if transaction fails, then like we need to roll back either, or some other methods are also there. We can lock some variables also. It will not be changed. So there are many methods that you will learn in depth in next unit actually. Okay. And at the end of this unit, I will also going to brief them. No worry.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. The next property, first one was atomicity. Atomicity is clear. It means either all the transaction needs to be completed or none of them. Done? Now coming on to the next part, next property, that is consistency, जो अभी हम लोग बहुत like thoroughly discuss करके आए हैं. Because of the question, I have already explained somehow the consistency means. It says that the integrity constraints must be maintained so that the database remains inconsistent before and after the transaction. And it also refers to the correctness of the database. Is it clear now? Like what is actually the consistency? Or I need to explain it again? Please tell me fast. I am waiting your answers here.
Sir, explain it again.
Okay. Consistency means ki, like in simple word, if you will say, then it is referring the correctness of the database. I have just explained before that the sum of the values of A and B must be same before start the transaction and after the transaction. So that is what the correctness means. Or we will also explain, I am also explain now the what does integrity constraint means. Actually, consistency means that database must follow some integrity constraints that you have already studied. Now look at that particular diagram. In between, like before first, like if you will see my cursor, so begin transaction, before the transaction begins, the database is in consistent state. Okay, the value of A and B is 2000 rupees now. Okay, and after the end of the transaction, database is also in the consistent state. It means ki A plus B, again in that case it should be 2000. But in meanwhile, like during the execution of the transaction, database may be temporarily in an inconsistent state. Okay, because at that time A has debited but B has not credited till now. So but by the end of the transaction it must be debited and credited both. Okay. Now consistent state means ki where all the data integrity constraints are satisfied. Data integrity constraints क्या होते हैं वो भी हम देख लेते हैं एक बार. I have also trying, like now again first before that same example that I have already explained, I am taking here actually. So like suppose before the transaction the value of A is 2000 and the value of B is 3000 rupees. Okay. Now after the successful completion, it must be 5000, so that the transaction must be in consistent state. I have taken an example of ATM also. ATM, if the money withdrawals and you are able to get it, it means it is consistent. Otherwise, it is not consistent. Now, with this example, is it clear now? I think if I am not able to explain it with this slide, you are maybe able to get it. Go through the slide once and reply me fast.
Yes, sir.
Like before transaction, the A plus B is 5,000 rupees, and after the successful completion, it must be 5,000 also. Like the A will be 1,300 and B will be 3,700. So whatever has been debited from A, it must be credited to B also at the same time before commit, without any failure. And if it happens, then it means the database is in inconsistent state. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now coming on to what the data integrity means. Actually, it is not the part of the transaction, although I have included in my slides so that it can be revised again. So data integrity constraints, like consistency means key. Like here, the last line you should read. Consistent state means one where all the data integrity constraints must be satisfied. And what are those data integrity constraints? There are three types of the integrity constraints that database must follow. That is domain integrity constraint, entity integrity constraint, and referential integrity constraint. These you have studied in the unit number 2 while we are dealing with the SQLs. Okay, so first one is domain integrity constraint, which says that domain integrity means the definition of a valid set of the values of an attribute. Attribute means, say I am taking an example of age. Say I have a age attribute in my table. So the logically what could be the value of A? It should be in between 0 to 100, or it should be between 0 to 120, but it should not be negative. Is it okay? Similarly, if I am talking about the percentage of the marks, say percentage is an attribute in my table, then percentage should also not be negative, and it should not also be more than 100. Is it okay? So what does domain integrity means? The attributes values must belong a specific domain. Suppose if I am talking about sex, it should be either male or female only. That's it. So this is the domain for that particular attributes. Okay. Then coming on to the entity integrity constraints, it means that is very simple. It is related to the primary key. It means the primary key cannot be null, or it should be unique. This is what the entity integrity means. That has been explained already to you all. I am just revising the concepts. Okay, this is not, I think, not new to you. Finally, the referential integrity constraint, it belongs to the foreign key, and it states that if a foreign key exists in a relation, then either the foreign key can be null, or it must match with the primary key value of some tuples in the master relation. Is it okay? So if these three constraints are being satisfied, then the database is in consistent state. Database will be in consistent state if all these three must be satisfied parallelly. All these three are satisfying. Okay, so now I think technical definition of consistency is also clear, and with the help of lifetime example, I have also explained the consistency. Okay, now you need to answer me some questions right now. Okay, look at your screen. I think you are able to see two different tables right now. Yes or no?
Yes.
One is student address, that is master table, and one is student marks, that is child table. So master tables, in master table, roll number is a primary key, and in student marks, which is a like child table of the student address, roll number is a foreign key. You know the concept of primary key and foreign key, I think, and I hope that you are like well in this. I need not to explain what is now primary key and what is now foreign key. So these two keys are there, primary key and foreign key. Now my first question is, can the student marks table contains a row for the roll number is equals to 5? Say yes or no.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why not?
No, sir. No, sir.
Why
No,
not?
sir.
Because sir, it should be present in table 1.
Good. So first answer is no. Good. Now second answer is, can we delete the row of roll number 2 from the student address table?
No, sir.
Sir, no.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Again, reply with Y. Reply with Y also.
Because
सर ये फॉरेन की में भी 2 है ना?
सब पहले फॉरेन की में से डिलीट होना पड़ेगा.
पहले फॉरेन की में से डिलीट होना पड़ेगा. Then you can delete the
Yes, sir.
primary key in the master table. That is what the meaning of cascade delete. Cascade deleting होता है. If I want to delete 2, then first it needs to be deleted from the child table, and then only I can delete it from the primary key. Oh, sorry, master table. That is what the meaning of cascading delete. Okay, so answer is this again, no. Now the next question is, can we delete the row of roll number 4 from the student address master table?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, because it has no related
Foreign key में नहीं है, sir.
कोई relation
because
नहीं है,
it has no related
Yes, sir.
entries in the child table. Okay, so this is what about the referential integrity actually. ये जो हमने questions पढ़े, ये this is like I think good to clear the referential integrity means. Okay, so referential integrity, it means ki if there is a foreign key, then it must either into the master table, otherwise it will be null. Okay, done. So two properties we have seen till now. So first one was atomicity, second one was consistency. Is both is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next one, the next property, third property is acid A, C, I and D. So I is isolation. I stands for isolation. Isolation, like we are all now in isolation right now because of COVID-19. So हम खुद भी अभी isolation में ही हैं, तो इसी से relate कर सकते हैं. We can easily relate it with the isolation through like this property ensures that multiple transactions can occur concurrently without leading to the inconsistency of the database state. Again, the term inconsistency is there. Like our overall purpose is to make sure that database should be in consistent state. Okay, so in order to avoid inconsistency, we are actually doing all these properties. So this property ensures that multiple transactions can occur concurrently without leading to the inconsistency of the database. Obviously, when we are dealing with the databases, in that case, like it is very much clear ki it will, if it is a real time database, so multiple users are there obviously. So ऐसा नहीं होगा कि एक ही user एक बार में उसको access कर रहा होगा. So you have to make a databases to be able to handle multiple transactions simultaneously. Okay, so for this property is there. If the multiple transactions are executed in parallel, say we can take an example of IRCTC website, okay, where multiple users can book or can reserve their seat for the same train, for the same source to same destination, for the same time, at the same time also. Is it okay? So that is the very good example of multiple transactions executing parallelly, but no one will be able to disturb anyone else. Okay, so that is what the isolation means. If multiple transactions are executed in parallel, changes occurring in one transactions will not be visible to any other transaction until that particular change in that transaction is returned to the memory or has been committed. दो चीजें हैं इसके अंदर, it is returned to the memory or has been committed. For that, again, we will have some technical we can say technical methods to ensure that it will be isolated in isolated manner. It means, suppose you are booking or you are trying to reserve your seat through IRCTC, okay, then at the same time I am also trying to make a reservation on the same train from the same source to same destination. So what happens actually, whenever you are trying to, your work is being logged, your work will be logged. This is one way I am telling you, and the variables or the objects you are accessing will be logged, and it will not be visible to me, and whatever I am working with the objects, it will not be visible to you. Okay, that is what the isolation means. And this property ensures that the execution of transaction concurrently will result in a state that is equivalent to the state achieved these were executed serially in some order. So what will be actually the output? We both will get the reservation. We both will get the seats in the same train. Okay, but what happens actually? Finally, it will seems like that we have done it in serial order. Either first you and then me, or either first me or then you. So the isolation means we both are, if we both are transacting the same objects, then they will be isolated for you and they will be isolated to me also. Okay, let us take an example to have a better understanding. Suppose now there are two transactions, T and T double dash. Is it visible? Yes or no? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right now, suppose the transaction T is there, which is trying to read the value of X and then try to read the value of Y. Okay. Now, parallelly, T double dash is reading the value of X and reading the value of Y and then adding those value and write the value of Z. Okay. These two are parallel. These two transactions are there right now. First, not parallel. You just assume that there are two different transactions, T and T dash. Now, give me the answer. Consider the transaction T and T dash. Now let's suppose X is 500 and Y is 500 initially. So what could be the value of T, X and Y after T? After T, the value of X and Y will be, it is visible to your screen also. After T, when the transaction T commits completely, the value of X will be 5,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, sorry, and Y will be 450. And suppose that after that T double dash will be start executing, and then the value of X plus Y will be 50,000 plus 450. It is 50,450 rupees. Is it okay? It is the case when the transaction T is executing first and T double dash is executing after the commit of the transaction T. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now the thing actually occurs. Say after the read Y statement, transaction T double dash has initiated its first statement, that is read of X. Now again listen me carefully. Say after read Y statement of the transaction T, say T double dash has initiated and the first statement read X is started. Now what happens? What will be the value read by T double dash X? The value of X read by T double dash क्या होगी बताइए? X and Y की वैल्यू जो T double dash read कर रहा है वो क्या होगी?
सर क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर दीजिए.
क्वेश्चन विजिबल है आपके पास स्क्रीन पे. I am trying to ask the value of X and Y read by T double dash. In the case when the transaction T dash has initiated after the read Y statement, आपको एक रेड एरो दिख रहा होगा. रेड एरो का मतलब यही है कि after read Y statement, Y equals to Y50 will not occur. The transaction T dash. Sorry.
Sir,
50,000.
50,000 plus 500.
50,400.
50,000 and 500.
50,000 plus 500.
And Y की वैल्यू क्या रीड करेगा T double dash?
500.
500. Very good.
450.
In the previous case, it has read the value of Y 450, but in that case, it reads the value of X and Y as 50,000 and 500. You are getting it? And then
Yes, sir.
and then when the transaction commits completely to T double dash का output क्या हुआ? It means what is the value of Z? It is 5,500 instead of, actually it may be 50,000. Instead of it may be 50,450, it is now 50,500 rupees. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this
Yes,
is what
sir.
this is what is this not consistent with the sum at the end of the transaction? Like what actually be the output is this. आपका output क्या होना चाहिए था? The value of X plus Y should be 50,450, but if the transaction T double dash has initiated in between, the output will be 50,500 rupees. So again the database.
Sir, what data came?
Is it clear to all or not?
Yes, sir.
That is what the isolation actually, that is where the isolation is required. That is where the isolation is required.
Sir, I would like
methods are some methods are there that we will implement. We can implement in the databases so that. Sorry. Yes. Please.
Sir, what happened if the transaction T got any error? What happened to the transaction dash?
At what point T gets error?
Near the calculation, like X into 100, it got any error, like not any.
So in that case, whatever the instructions have been given to the databases, it will happen. Like if you have been asked it to roll back then it will be rolled back to the particular statements. T double dash will be executed after the T dash only. It has been specified initially. So until and unless it has not been completed, T double dash will not be start. But I have taken a specific instance of that. Ki suppose T double dash has initiated after read by statement. Then what happened? Actually, I just want to explain with the help of that the meaning or the requirement of isolation actually. Okay, like suppose in T double dash has initiated in between the transaction T. So what happens now? So values that actually will be there are not actually there. So in that case, we are requiring the isolation. It means हम ये जरूर इंश्योर करेंगे कि दोनों ट्रांजेक्शन कंप्लीट हों और दोनों का आउटपुट जो हमें चाहिए था वही आए. So that is where the isolation is required. Is it okay? Now any other question? So we will have some methodology, we will have some ways and means to ensure this isolation also. Like what you can do is you can lock the value of X, you can lock the value of Y. The locking protocols are there that will be detailed like they will be discussed in detail in the next unit actually. Concurrency control में हम सब पढ़ने वाले हैं ये सब चीजें कि how you can ensure this isolation. Is it okay now? Right now you are only required to understand the meaning of isolation. That's it. So what does isolation means? Is it clear to all or not? We need to be fast actually. We are running short of time.
आगे सर समझ में.
Good. Isolation meaning is needs to understand now. वो मैं चाहता हूँ बताऊँ. Last जो property है that is durability. Durability means once the transaction finished successfully, all the changes that are made by the different statements of the transactions, they must persist even if the system fails. Now suppose what I have asked in this case only both the transaction have been successfully completed, T and T dash. So the value of X plus Y will be 50,450 rupees. Okay. So now once the commit statement has occurred, so durability says that it should not be changed even if the system fails. Like suppose again we are taking an example of ATM. Once you have withdrawn the amount of 1,000 from your account, even if after that system fails, suppose you have got the hard cash also, after that if system fails, it must not be rolled back. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए ना कि आपने पैसे भी ले लिए हैं और फिर आपका अकाउंट वापस से डेबिट करे या क्रेडिट करे अकाउंट. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So once the transaction has finished successfully, commit successfully, all the changes made by the transactions in the databases must persist in any case and it will not be lost. The only way to again redo the transaction is the redo commands. एक ही ऑप्शन होगा कि हमें उसके corresponding modifications वापस से करने पड़ेंगे, हमें उसको completely re-execute करना पड़ेगा in the reverse order. That's it. That will be again only managed by the database manager. No one else can do it. So this property ensures that once the transaction is completed successfully, the updates and modifications to the database are stored in and written to the disk. That they changes must persist even if the case of system failures. That's it. That is what the durability means. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Now I am concluding it the asset property only. In the short table, I just like in this with the help of this table, you can recap the properties once again. Atomicity means all or nothing rule. Is it clear now? Yes or no? You need to be fast. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Atomicity means all or nothing. It means either all the instructions need to be executed or none of them. Consistency means no violation of integrity constraint. We have studied 3 integrity constraints, so no one should be violated in the case of consistency. Isolation means concurrent changes are invisible. If I am doing multiple transactions at the same time, so concurrent changes are not visible to one another. One transaction will not be able to see the changes by the another and vice versa. Finally, durability means committed updation or modifications must persist even if the system fails. That's it. So these are the 4 properties and this is known as the ACID property, ACID, atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. Is it okay to all now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These 4 properties we have discussed now with the examples. I think I have cleared my point. if you will have any doubt, if anyone has any doubt, you can ask now, right now.
Sir,
We need to now stop it, but I am giving you a minute for asking any question.
सर ये आइसोलेशन में जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन था ना कि वो y की वैल्यू क्या लेगा,
y की वैल्यू क्या लेगा? जस्ट अ मिनट
सर जैसे उसमें 500 थी।
हाँ जी, यस
500, तो सर यहाँ जरूरी y ये x की भी तो 500 ओनली ले सकता था, जैसे वो x को उसने 100 से मल्टीप्लाई करके 50,000 ले लिया। तो
हाँ,
सर यहाँ
now let me
पहले
clear it. When the transition t is at the point read y, transition t जब read y point पे है, up to before that write hex has been done. It means the changes made to x has been returned to the disk.
सर अगर ट्रांजैक्शन रीड पे होता तो?
Sorry,
सर अगर ट्रांजैक्शन रीड पे होता तो?
transition read x पे होता, and now you are saying कि t double dash has initiated. At that point, x will be 500 only.
यस सर, तो ये कैसे पता लगेगा कि ये x में होगा या y में? अपन खुद करेंगे या फिर?
नहीं, that I have taken randomly. That I have taken randomly. It could be we will like ask the database, and we will give some commands from where we need to initiate the another transaction. We will have some rules. Yes, ask.
सर अगर ट्रांजैक्शन x पर हुआ और हमें y की वैल्यू लेनी है तो y की वैल्यू 450 आएगी?
No. Like you are saying that in transaction t, the transaction is read x, and now t double dash has initiated. At that point, x is 500 and y will be 500 only.
Okay.
Because at that point, y has not been read out by the transaction t or t dash double dash, whatever it may be.
सर y रीड नहीं हो तो y की वैल्यू 500 कैसे आई सर?
Because t double dash जब y को रीड करेगा तो वो 500 लेगा ना बेटा. Right now the value of y is 500. So whosoever is reading t or t double dash, it will be 500 until unless it has not been changed. You just see in the transition t, last statement is write y is missing there, but it is write y. So जब तक y update नहीं होगा, it will not be updated to any of the transition. कितनी भी transaction हो यहाँ पर, जब तक आप y को update नहीं करोगे, तब तक y will be same for all transactions.
Yes sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes sir.
Until and unless the variable has not been changed by any of the previous transaction, it will remain same for the next transactions. Once it has been modified, once it has been right, then it will be like changes will be visible to the next transaction t double dash. Like in this case, x has been changed, but y is not changed. So changes to x is visible, but changes to y is not visible to t double dash. Done?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes sir.
Good. Anything else you want to ask now?
No sir.
So we have studied about like transactions and its properties. Now in like tomorrow we will be having a session on the transaction. I will continue it with the same PPT. Now transaction states and scheduling we will cover in the next lecture. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.